We continue to give you the latest discussions, of course, out of WEF Africa 2019. And as we talk now about where to from here for WEF and just around South Africa's growth trajectory, rather, as well, notwithstanding the fact that the rest of the continent needs to have a combined message. And one intended growth path is certainly going to be interesting. Let's chat now to Victor Williams, who is Standard Bank's head of corporate and investment banking for Africa. Victor, thank you so much for the time again. The question would obviously then be around whether WEF has achieved the tasks you hope it has, and whether you believe that perhaps the discussions now have been as vibrant as before.
Thank you very much, Arabile, and thank you to your listeners as well. I think that one of the key themes that has run through this forum this year has been the discussion around Africa's growth, especially in the context of the Continental Free Trade Agreement. And so the issues around the political will that has been demonstrated in order to get to ratification has been very welcome. And I think the policymakers and governments have to be congratulated for that. A lot of time has been spent in this forum this year talking, though, about what next and how is the implementation going to happen. And I think we had some interesting discussions on that, but there is more work to be done in order to land that properly.
In doing the work, of course, you want deliverables, you want to be able to say, this is what we've been able to do. At that point, then clearly, the next port of call becomes Ethiopia, where the next WEF Africa will then be hosted. What are the hopes? What are your excitement? How happy is that sort of sentiment going into Ethiopia?
Well, I mean, I think it's very appropriate and pleasing, actually, that the WEF is going to Ethiopia next. That is a country that has shown a significant amount of consistent economic growth over the last decade, and it's a country that has played actually a leading role in helping the continent to move forward with this Continental Free Trade Agreement. And certainly as it is undergoing its own reforms and looking forward at liberalizing aspects of its economy, as well as pushing forward on industrialization. I think those are all themes that are relevant to the rest of the continent, and the WEF for Africa going to Ethiopia is an endorsement of that, and it brings the discussion to a country that really has embodied or is embodying a lot of what we are looking to see on the continent.
I'm going to really just, go back, I suppose, on quite a few issues and really discuss what it is you would have loved to have seen achieved then when it comes to WEF Africa 2019, the discussion point you would love to have been a thread to pull through this and ultimately get to the end and a message that we can then take home.
So I think that some of the key items have been discussed here. So the Continental Free Trade Agreement has been a thread that has run through many of the discussions, and I really commend the forum for facilitating that. I think where we could, some of the work to be done is in the public sector, the private sector, and civil society actually agreeing on a framework for cooperation and thrashing out some of the implementation issues as we move forward. And I hope that work will be done after the forum.
Where to here, I suppose, from a Standard Bank point of view, what exactly you're aiming at, you're trying to do, you're trying to thread through to send the message and drive it home in order to get the actual intended results?
So, I mean, engagement is really one of the powerful reasons for attending this forum. So we've spent time engaging with our clients here. There's a tremendous convening power that this event has to bring people together who are interested in the continent, both from Africa as well as from around the world. So we've spent time with our clients in dialogue, and consistently we're hearing a lot of hope and anticipation related to the Continental Free Trade Agreement. So we will take that forward into these forums in which we participate, and we'll also highlight to the policymakers some of the challenges that our clients are seeing and that we hope that they can help resolve.
Certainly do hope for those resolutions and finding a way to end it. Victor, really appreciate the time. Thank you so much for that. Victor Williams is Standard Bank's head of corporate and investment banking for African regions, and we continue, of course, as we said, to try and find the best way to not just develop the conversations but really put them into action. Yes, we've got the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, but now is the time to put it into action. It's no longer just about words. It's WEF Africa 2019, of course, and we're right here at the Cape Town International Convention Center.
WEF Africa 2019, brought to you by Standard Bank 702 and Cape Talk. More at ewn.co.za.